Next we are going to discuss about is water pollination, also known as hydrophily. So children, pollination by water is called hydrophily. It is quite rare. It is limited to about only 30 genera. Mostly they are monocotyledons. Now example shown here you is Vallisneria. You can see Hydrola, freshwater plant, Zostera, which is marine seagrass. But in lower plants, water is a regular mode of transport for the male gametes. Distribution of some bryophytes and pteridophytes is limited because they need water for the transport of male gametes and fertilization. Now, if you remember children, in class 9th or 11th, in both the classes, you have heard this that we generally call bryophytes as plant amphibians. Now, why do we call bryophytes as plant amphibians? Because they are the plants which depend on water for the mode of, you can say, for fertilization, because they generally need water to transport their gametes, male gametes to the female gametes. So they need water as an important factor for fertilization. So this is a general thing that we have done in previous classes also. Now let me show you regarding Vallisneria. See, in Vallisneria, the female flower, children, this is a very important question and this was asked 2 years back also. The female flower reaches the surface of water. Now you can see this is a female flower which is on the surface of water. The female flower reaches the surface of water by a long stalk. You can see this is a stalk and the female flower is floating on the surface of water. Okay, and the male flowers or the pollen grains are released on the surface of the water. So the male flowers are here, but what they do is they release the pollen grains. You can see they release the pollen grains and now the pollen grains are moving towards the surface of water. Why are they moving to the surface? So that they can move on and meet the female flowers. Okay, so they are carried by water currents and reach the female flower. So this is how the pollination is being done in Vallisneria. Also, let me show you the seagrass. In seagrass, female flowers remain submerged. Now, this is a different case. Here, the female flowers are submerged in water and pollen grains are long and ribbon-like, okay, and they are carried inside the water and they reach the stigma. Now in seagrass, because they are both the male and the female flowers are submerged, so now the pollen grains will swim. They will be carried away by the water towards the female flowers where the pollination will occur. So in Vallisneria, the pollination occurs on the surface of water, but in seagrass it takes place inside the water. The process is same, only the portion or the place is different, right? Now, the pollen grains of most of the water pollinated species have a mucilaginous covering. Now, this is very important. They generally ask a 1 mark question here, children, that why is a mucilaginous covering required on the pollen grains of hydrophilic plants. Now, the reason is the pollen grains have a mucilaginous covering to protect them from wetting, because excess of water may damage the pollen grains. So there is a mucilaginous covering on the pollen grains so that they don't get wet. Not all aquatic plants use hydrophyli. Now, children generally, when I ask children, give one example of hydrophyli, they give me many examples like lily, water lily, or they give me an example of any water aquatic plant. So, children, remember this, it's not necessary that the plant, if the plant is aquatic, it will do pollination by water only. It's not necessary. Now let me show you certain examples here. Like in most of the aquatic plants, as of water hyacinth or water lily, both of them are water plants, that is aquatic plants, but the flowers, they emerge above the level of water, and the pollination is done either entomophyli or anemophyli. So either the anemophyli, though you know, that is wind pollination, and entomophyli, that is by insects. So either their pollination is done by insects or the pollination is done by wind. Though they are waterborne plants, though they are aquatic plants, still they do not show hydrophyli. This is important. One marker questions can come from this portion. Okay, wind and water pollinated flowers are not very colorful, of course, and they do not produce nectar because they are not attracting anyone. They do not need any, you can say, a prize, or they are not supposed to give anyone any kind of you can say an exchange offer, because both of them are abiotic agents. They do not want any kind of reward from the flowers, right? So they are not very colorful and they do not produce nectar. So this is all about hydrophyly.